I want to welcome any guests that we have as well. I do ask that you just mute your phones because we're going to be covering a lot of information over the next hour and a half. And what you're going to see today, those of you that are coming on that haven't been to an ALC meeting before, committee meetings were last week. And what our company does that's so different than every other company, we allow all agents to participate in those committee meetings. We're very interested in what you have to say. So this is how we're so different. Your voice really matters. And that is showcased today, the third Tuesday of the month, where we have our Agent Leadership Council meeting. The people on the council, the 15 members, are going to be representative of what their committee meetings brought up last week. So thank you if you participated in a committee meeting. Today you'll get to hear what was discussed in all the committee meetings. Any decisions that need to be voted on will happen. But that said, this is the true embodiment of a democratic, open company. You're going to get to see what the books look like. You're going to get to hear the numbers. And that's what our company is all about, true transparency. And that's why it's the greatest company there is. So with that, we're going to go ahead and start our meeting. I'm going to ask for roll, if you would, Sophie.
Good. Alex McCauley.
All right. And if Alex hops on, please look for her.
Catherine.
I'm here.
Okay. Cindy. James.
Here.
Jen. I saw Joe. Kate.
Kate Ferguson.
Kimberly.
I'm here.
Michael McSorley. Oscar. I saw Pat. Patricia. Okay.
I see Pat Brinsel on there.
Yeah, I saw her. I got her down.
Okay.
Patricia Brand. Patricia Brand is who you're looking for, right?
Yeah. Simeon, Tanya, and Wayne, I saw y'all. And then Sophia.
I'm here.
I see her. Okay.
All right, is that the whole roll?
Yeah.
Okay, do we have a quorum?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, everyone. The staff is reading a book right now. I encourage you all to take a look at it. It's called The Success Principles. Let me first off share my screen.
You're already sharing it?
Can you guys see my screen right now?
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
No. Yeah.
James Seelig, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. All right. This is a fantastic book. And today in chapter 13, we really got into what it means to take action. We certainly all know what we need to do. As far as real estate, we have the fundamentals down. If you've taken the basics through Ignite, you know what you need to do to generate business. There's some that do and just some that don't. And some that kind of live by the seat of their pants, and they kind of do. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays you for what you do. There's an enduring axiom of success that says the universe rewards action. Yet as simple and as true as this principle is, it's surprising how many people get bogged down in analyzing, planning, and organizing when they really need to do is take action. When you take action, you trigger all kinds of things that will inevitably carry you to success. You let those around you know that you are serious in your intention. People wake up and start paying attention. People with similar goals become aligned with you. You begin to learn things from your experience that cannot be learned from listening to others or reading books. You begin to get feedback about how to do it better, more efficiently, and more quickly. Things that once seemed confusing begin to become clear. Things that once appeared difficult begin to be easier. You begin to attract others who will support and encourage you. All manner of good things begin to flow in your direction once you begin to take action. And I ask you, because I consult with many of you, oftentimes it's the paralysis of moving forward. It's the good intention of I'm going to do this, but then 2 weeks later, you haven't. And this is, with our ALC, it's with our agent body, across the board. I'm going to challenge you because our market is now truly rebounding in a way that we haven't seen in a while. James, how long have you been an agent?
Almost 17 years. Well, I've been licensed for 43 years.
Okay.
Practicing 17 years.
So that said, what did you tell me yesterday about your business? When have you been this busy?
Probably this reminds me of 2006.
Where you were at the pinnacle of your business. And we're seeing this across the board. We're seeing business just come and flow. If you get those listings, there's a high likelihood that property is going to sell. So it's doing the action and not letting this opportunity pass. Doing the action, not sitting in a class that you've already sat through before. Taking action today. That's what I encourage everyone who's on this call. And I appreciate, I see that we've got 40 plus on here. This isn't just for the ALC, it's for everyone. Take that action today. Make that call today. You may not be perfect in the way you deliver it, but as long as you are failing forward, you are moving forward. So thank you again for being on the call. We're going to get into our meeting.
Michael, can I ask you a question?
You always can, Cindy.
Do you think that we should not take bold?
I think you absolutely should take bold, but I think you should also act on the principles you learned in bold. Right? When people take bold, we see a big influx of business. The order count goes up almost immediately. We know it works, but if you just sit there and you kind of mess around and you're not intentional, don't take it. If you're going to do the actions that they encourage you to do and that they hold you accountable to, take it. Absolutely. Because your business goes up. All right, guys, thank you so much again for being a part of the company. While we're waiting for people to hop on, I want to take you through Ergo just briefly because they've had some improvements to it. And this is for everyone who's on the call. Danny, do I have you on here?
I'm here, Michael.
All right, great. So you all have access to this program now. They're going to open it up to memberships at the end of this month. We've already helped them. I'm sorry, go ahead, speak whoever's speaking.
Okay.
Yes? Is that Tanya?
Okay.
All right, we're gonna mute Tanya because she's talking to somebody else.
Man.
And the point of this is this program takes the memorial metrics to a different level. Memorial metrics is still critically important. You're going on a listing presentation. This one gives you a new visual component, and they fixed all the little bugs that they had when we originally looked at it. They took our guidance and they ran with it. So when you lock in an area, it's going to give you all the details of the area. And every time you go back here, if this was your farm, we picked an area in the Heights, it's going to always take you back there. So you don't have to replot the points, which is really nice because most people have a geographic area that they go to regularly. Danny, what's the best way first off for them to sign up for the program?
Yeah, they just have to go to ergo.terradatum.com and click on the sign up button there.
Okay.
I can put it in the chat box, that link for their website so that they can sign up.
Hey, Michael, can somebody just email us the link?
And we can send the email out to everybody as well, absolutely. So when you go there, you're not going to get charged. We're going to take on the cost on that. This piece that you gotta understand that's so powerful is the data piece. When we take a look at things like the last quarter, it compares it with last year. The last quarter actually commenced January through the end of March. It's not going back 90 days. You have a going back 90 days piece. So that's one that we got clarity that clarified for us. So this is what happened in January through March. These are all the listings in red. The greens are the solds. Of course, you can change that easily to whatever you'd like. But when you're going on a listing presentation, there's there's a lot of people that were getting that wrong. The data that you pull, the really powerful one, is over here on KMI details. Now I've logged in. Once I put in an area, and we'll show you how to do that in just a second, you've got these pieces on the side. And this has been very, very powerful for the people that have seen it, the agents and the consumers that have seen it. We've done it with consumers. They love this. And again, it's not going to cost you anything if you're a KW Memorial agent. This is not for KW, it's a KW Memorial agent. We're taking care of the cost. So we want to make sure that you're able to utilize it. So let's go ahead and start with picking an area. I'm going to lock out of this one. We're going to pick, we'll just grab a general area. So when you get here, your screen will look something like this. One thing to be cognizant of, anytime you do anything, right now they don't have any kind of an egg timer here. So you may think, okay, the data's here, but under here, under this blue line, you'll see it slowly moving. It's not necessarily visible unless you're looking for that. So right now, first off, let's pick an area. I'm gonna go ahead and just grab, go with this area under Memorial Park. So you click the little kidney-shaped swimming pool, and then you got to pick one of the 4 boxes under. Out here. All right. So quickly, I can put in all the data. Your clients will love to see how things compare either year over year. Right now, we're going to say last 90 days. So again, remember, you got to give it a little bit of time for that little line to get across, but eventually you'll have an egg timer here. So we know in that area, 7.6 months of inventory. And we can see that that is, that is up from the previous 90 days last year, same time last year. So that's the comparison that we're looking at. This has been really powerful, especially with what we went through over the last 90 days. We can see that the sold volume is down in units. We can see that the actual dollar volume is cut in half in that area. And we can also see the number of units under contract. Everything is here. Secondary indicators. Again, it talks about inventory. So what's actually in this inventory in dollars, how much volume there is. The median list price, we can see is stayed about the same. The average list price, again, just up slightly. Inventory units, what's available, we're down a little bit. It's all here. So again, this is a really powerful program to isolate an area, even a subdivision, which works better than on Memorial Metrics, because that worked on bigger scope. So I hope you guys can get familiar with this program called Ergo. Okay, so ergo.terradatum.com. Danny's sending out the link to everybody. And again, very powerful. Things to remember again, last 90 days is different than last quarter. Quarter represents January through March, April through June. Monthly is actually on the most recent month that has already been completed. So that's going to be May of this year versus May of last year. Okay. Is there any questions on the program?
Looks cool.
Sir? Yeah, it is cool. It's an awesome program and it does a ton of things. And we're
Sure, I
going
have one.
to advise them.
What does that COVID-19 severity button do?
It scares you, right? But actually the nuts and bolts, it actually tells you where COVID is relevant. They thought this would be a good thing. So we know that in Houston, we fall in this area, 0 to 882 cases. If we go back out, you'll see there's some areas that do have a higher prevalence, like way up here, Navasota. In this area, the Huntsville area, it's actually a little bit higher. It's probably not going to be that powerful of a button, but at the time when they were doing the second edition, they thought, okay, this will be cool. Don't know how much relevance it really has, although it is updated daily. And guys, we'll be going over deeper demos, but I wanted you to get a feel for it. Go download this when you get that thing.
Michael,
Yes, Cindy.
how'd you know it was me? Anyway,
I knew it was you or Oscar. So
okay, can we have a class on this? Because I'm not following you at all.
yeah, we can have a long. All right. Somebody want to mute that? We can do a half-hour class on it. We can take properties start to finish or areas start to finish. This is just the best program I've seen of really capturing very important data that your consumers want. They want this kind of data. And so you can also use this in your farming. Can you imagine you're farming an area and you have this up, you put this on the neighborhood Facebook page that you're farming, and you're the person that's updating this every month. Really powerful. And we have people that have already started doing that, by the way. So this is something that you can start for the area that you are farming. You will be the neighborhood expert. You're not just pulling comps, you're showing true valuable data. All right. All right, if there's no more questions, we're going to hop into our actual Agent Leadership Council meeting. But just know that our office is the one that focuses on getting you these kinds of tools.
Can
Okay,
you create also a heat map?
sir?
Can you create a heat map? A heat map based with this data?
Heat map.
Heat.
Like a heat map?
A heat map, like a map that will show you by color the different concentrations and values.
You can, it's not going to work quite like that, but it's going to show you how the way people are moving, where the purchases are, where the closed are. You can put in valuation, but it's not quite like that. So you won't see those details.
You can see those details in RPR in case you need them.
Yeah. And RPR also has schooling information that's pretty good. Okay, so if you are looking for that, RPR is a great product for that. Thank you, Gabby. All right, let's get into our ALC meeting. So, do I have my agenda? Okay, so for committee reports, let's go ahead and get into our growth committee. Did we have a growth meeting?
Joe, Jack, are you there? Joe Jack?
All right. How about while we're waiting, let's hop into.
Yeah,
Hey,
Go ahead,
Michael.
Joe Jack.
yeah,
Michael.
yeah. We had one. Well, it was canceled, so no, we didn't have one.
Okay. All right. Education.
Hi. We had an education meeting. Can you hear me?
Yes.
We discussed the new Ignite. The coaches who were facilitating the classes remarked it's a much improved and concise platform, the way the presentation has been formulated. The Ignite platform is much more targeted to the exact delivery of information the new realtors need in each session, and it will be enriched by the ALC members leading the question and answer sessions. Still allows the ALC leader to give their own personal experience as it relates to the subject matter for each session. The ALC will continue to be the integral part of overseeing the sessions after this first month, without all the preparation for teaching the session that's been required in the past, because most of it's on the platform. The committee discussed assigning the sessions to ALC much like we do the agent on call. Since there are 20 sessions per month, the coaches and the ALC would only have one commitment per month to teach a session. The coaches who usually help guide the calling and accountability part of the Ignite sessions would most likely continue to contribute to that task. And each ALC member could plan ahead and just treat this like another appointment. We would have to strive to stay with the schedule block for Ignite for the training room so that the dates didn't change. And we might want to have some discussion on that, but let me go through the entire notes here. It says the group also discussed reinforcing some of Marilyn O'Neill's hot topics through a contest, or perhaps adding these questions about the hot topics to our team meeting Kahoot questions. Agents are still committing small offenses that can lead to big issues, like including title information, for instance, in MLS, offer instruction attachments. Gabby's What the Tech, Kahoot, and any other ideas or format that we come up with to continue to refine our office education are welcome for discussion. And then we talked about the safety, recent safety issue with one of our agents, and it was highlighted on HAR in the HAR alert. That was someone actually from our office that received some threatening phone calls that kind of escalated into 2 or 3 phone calls that were frightening for the agent. Short discussion on agent and open house safety and ongoing measures we as agents need to employ for our own safety in this environment that we're in now. And that was it. And I don't know who all was there because I couldn't see anybody.
So you mentioned something that you wanted to have further discussion on. What was that?
About the ALC, everybody being responsible for one meeting a month and teaching the ALC Ignite. I think you had some negative comments, or you had some feedback from agents who I think were not on board with the way the new Ignite's going to work. The ALC would still have that duty that they agreed to do when we had our orientation meeting. It'd be a lot less responsibility, but the agents still need to be taking part.
So the ALC is still doing, still been doing Ignite, except for this month we have the coaches doing it. So far, how is that going? Do I have a coach who's on the line right now?
I'm here, Michael. I don't know if Kimberly's on. My understanding, Gabby probably knows more. Even in the future, Pat, Ignite's 20 sessions. The first 10, every round, are going to be taught by the coaches every time. No ALC involvement at all. Ignite's divided between Spark and Elementals. The coaches, every time we offer Ignite, are going to teach the 10 Spark sessions. We just need the ALC members to teach the 10 Elemental sections, the second half of the course.
Great.
So essentially, every month, there's only going to be nine ALC members that need to teach an Ignite session. Because session 20, I'm doing the contract challenge and graduation. That's the last day of Ignite. So we just need 9 ALC members every month to step up and volunteer for one session.
Okay, so ALC will still be teaching, it's just this one you guys have taken on the whole role, right?
Correct. We're doing this whole one this time. Yes.
Okay, what is your perception as to how this new format is working as far as tonight, 20 sessions?
Yeah. We're on, I think today was the end of session 10. We're exactly halfway through. It's actually challenging to do the script practice and lead generation on Zoom versus a classroom setting. Unfortunately, even though we've asked them, when we do the class, vast majority of agents have video stopped, so we don't even know if they're there, in all honesty. We've asked them to turn video on so we can see you there, because we log them in at the beginning with the QR code, and they're all kind of incognito. So when we do role playing, we only do role play with 1 or 2 agents at a time. In a classroom, we'd have them pair up or triple up and do, with each other. And then the lead generating part, it's a whole hour. Their cameras are off. They could be out for a walk. They could be playing with their kids or dogs. Because then when we do the debriefing at the end, we get very little feedback other than a normal 2 or 3 agents who participate regularly.
Would there be
It's
an
a little
opportunity
challenging.
Chuck, would there be an opportunity to open up separate rooms for the, at least for the role play, so they have that experience?
Yeah, we as the coaches, at least me, would have to learn how to do breakout rooms or something like that. Exactly, because then you could do groups of 2 or 3, and then they could do their own role playing with partners and then come back in.
Okay, we have some of the newer agents on it that are going through Ignite. Just know that what you practice like during the classroom time is how you're going to be running your business. Whether you do it with integrity or not, we're not your babysitter. We're here to support you with the best tools there are. It's up to you to choose to actually do that. So again, how you practice here is how you'll be successful there. And I hope that you're taking advantage of the tools that we have.
Hey, Michael, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
We still have it as a requirement that they have to go through all the Ignite classes, don't we?
We do.
So I just kind of think that it just needs to be, if they're not going to show their face, then they're just not counted as in the class that day.
What if they're having a really bad hair day?
It doesn't matter. I have a really bad hair day every day.
You know, it is a point to consider if you're not showing your face, if you're really truly not there. We'll open that up at the end of this meeting. All right.
Well,
let's continue on. You guys think about.
Michael, can I say something real quick for Ignite that I need from ALC?
Okay.
So guys, I'm gonna send you an email later today with the Zooms that I have for now, because Elementals starts tomorrow, if I'm not wrong. So I'm gonna put the dates for all the Elemental sessions. Remember that all of you need to attend at least one to observe and learn how to teach it.
Yeah.
Okay. So for ALC, you got to do one of the next 10 sessions.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you, Gabby. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. I want to get into, we didn't get minutes from technology. We're going to move to financial planning.
Okay, thank you.
I'm going to turn my screen on to you, James. Is that all right?
Okay.
I mean, do you need that?
No, I
Okay.
don't think so. I'm not showing anything. Basically, we covered mostly covered a lot of old business on there in terms of bank reconciliation reports. Can you mute everybody, Michael?
We are.
Okay. We discussed resource fund. Victoria's looking at various expenses right now. We talked about some ideas in terms of what is part of the resource fund, and then we're looking to see what's not part of the resource fund. So we have a good definition of that for all the agents. going forward, and we're looking toward the leadership team making a presentation to our committee in August about what their recommendations are. The hometown lending lawsuit, Hubert reported to us that he's drafting a summary judgment against hometown lending, but it could be up to 6 months before there's a ruling on the summary judgment. So we're just kind of biding our time on that one to see if, how fast we might be able to collect some of what they owe us. Reduction in expenses, that's ongoing. They did get, I believe, 1 month's rent abated at the Energy Corridor office, which is good. And Victoria's estimated that we've saving about 15% reduction in expenses now, which is really good. Our agent receivables is down a lot. So thank you to the leadership team for really, really going at it the last month. It's down quite a bit. There are more agents that are on payment plans now who owe money than we've had in the past, which is good. Yeah, there are, unfortunately, several of our preferred partners who are past due, and Michael is going to be making the phone calls to them as well. And I believe we've got some preferred partners that are not going to be our preferred partners any longer. Other thing, now that we've got Energy Corridor back up and running, we need to have separate financials for that office, separate from Corbindale, and Victoria's working on that as well. And then we're still looking for the right system to use to do more in-depth reporting of the expenses to the committee. And then our financials was basically just talking about our asset and liability accounts, various balances in there, as well as various budget variances. We did have profit share of $20,000 in May. So we're coming out of the COVID lockdown and making a little money right now.
Yay!
Yay, Cindy! I know you'd love that. There is a new. Y'all used to see in y'all's packet a vital. Up until this year, y'all would see a vital signs report. They actually have a new one right now, and I'm still trying to get my arms around it, and we're going to learn more about it in the next month. But there are some things where we excel, like on a scale of 1 to 10, our company dollar, we were at a 10. If you look at our expense as a percent of company dollar, out of a 10, we're a 2. So we've got some improvement there. So basically, we've got some things we're doing really well and some things that we need to look at, which is good. We've always got room for improvement. So hopefully, we'll be able to look at that all together next month. And that's the report.
All right, James, thank you very much. My culture committee, Patricia.
Hi, the culture committee, we talk more about communication, how we can reconnect with the other agents, how we can create a system that we're talking, not like the question line, more like a body system, how we can be an effective link, a communication between the agents. I think Ignite is a perfect for a connection with them. And when they get into the market center to Keller Williams Memorial, we need to ask them if they need to be part of one of the committees, because especially new agents, they feel like it's harder for them. Too many things, it's overwhelming how they can connect. So we also talk about how we can get together the committee of family reunion and culture committee, so we can have more meetings and be more effective, because right now we don't have any other event. So the major thing that we are going to focus is communication and reconnect with between agents, the reconnection between agents, how we can increase so they can participate more with us.
We do have our first event that we're hosting in the Market Center with this week, for the agents who closed 4 transactions over the previous 2 months with our fantastic 4. But it is something that we are rolling out slowly, obviously. So you're absolutely right. We don't want to have our culture suffer as a result of COVID. At the same time, we have to act responsibly. One of the things that we announced a while back was having meetings of accountability with other agents. So agents getting together and having their groups. But one thing that we asked for was a disc from everybody that's going to be a part of that. And we didn't get that. So we have a few groups that we were able to put together, but they were few and far between. We had maybe 30 people send in that they were interested. If you're interested in getting in an accountability group, one where you can work with somebody else or 2 or 3 people, we do need to get your disc, and all you have to do is email Sophie and we'll get you that.
How about an accountability partner for recruiting?
Well, you can certainly have that as well, but for actually on your business, we would love to allow agents to get together, but it doesn't make sense to put somebody who's a high I with someone who's a high C, because they'll ultimately kill each other after session 1 or 2. Maybe it'll go to 3, but it won't go past that. So we can get people with similar discs together. It certainly helps. So those of you that were interested in that, or if you're still interested, all you have to email is Sophie and ask, and she will send you the disc. We get that back, and then we can pair you up with someone to help the longevity of your group. We have groups that we put together 8 years ago that are still together, and they are thriving. Just someone you can meet with once a week or once every other week and hold each other accountable. Accountability is, I mean, that is the breakfast of champions. And so we would love to help you do that. So Sophie, what is your email address?
It's executiveadmin@kwmemorial.com, or you can email me at sophie@kwmemorial.com.
All right, Sophie, which is SOPHIE @kwmemorial.com, and just say you'd like to get your disc and you'd like to be in an accountability group, and we'll help you. Without the disc, we can't place you, and it's all free. So we want to help you grow. On the culture side, guys, it truly is about getting together with one another, treating each other with courtesy, treating the staff with courtesy is something that is a must as well. They've been here working very, very hard throughout the entire pandemic, and they have constantly been working, been reading, been focused on our agents. And so I just want to make sure that we always treat them with the highest level of respect. They do the exact same for you. All right, thank you so much. Can we hear the luxury report?
Hello.
Hi, Jen.
Hello. We had a good luxury meeting. It was a little bit quick because we actually, same boat as culture, a lot of our events had to be canceled due to COVID, and we haven't been able to get those back up, but that's what we talked about, is getting that back going. And a couple of our events that we want to do is, we had a wine tasting scheduled way back then with Carla. So we're going to see about getting that back on the schedule. And then there was a luxury marketing video class I was trying to get scheduled with Catherine Ryan from Florida. And she and I were back and forth, and we could never get a date. And it was interesting because the same day of our meeting, she actually texted me and said she was having a class the very next day that she was hosting. So we got that out, but I don't know how many people were able to log into that. It was a video marketing class that she was doing. So I'm going to see if she can still do one just for us specifically. She's, I think, like the #1 agent for Keller Williams over in Florida. And another thing that we had talked about in the past was having a workshop for the luxury division, which would go over all the details and help everybody learn all of their benefits and values they get with the luxury division. And we're going to schedule that for July, and we're going to try to see if we can do that wine tasting right after, so we can do both together on the same day and get everybody back together. We're going to do our best to offer the workshop both in person and via Zoom through a moderator. So I hope that will get everybody, and we can get everybody's questions answered. And then the other item we talked about was, I know with Compass, then their big thing is offering that Compass concierge, where they come in and they fix up your house real nice and you don't have to pay for it until, or the sellers don't have to pay till after closing. But there are companies around that also offer that. Jennifer Fuller looked into that for us and gave us a really great recommendation for someone. And so we are in the process of trying to get him set up and brought into the office to do a presentation to see what that would look like so that we can offer that also. So there's no reason to change brokerages because we will have that also. And then we are going to take a vote to see if it is a requirement for luxury division members to have to also be KW Luxury International members. And so that will be going out sometime this week. And if anyone has any questions about it, they can call and talk to me about it. We've already had discussion on this for the past 3 months. So if somebody says that they don't know anything about this that is in the luxury division, you just really haven't been attending the meetings and, you know, paying attention, because we've been talking about it for 3 months. And so
Again,
we're
let's get some clarity on this. If I'm an agent, I have nothing to do with luxury, but I'm interested in going to the committee meetings. Am I allowed to?
Yes, so the committee meetings are open to everybody. That is where you will learn what the luxury committee does, the events that we're planning, what it takes to be a luxury member. So everybody's invited to come and join our luxury committee meetings, which are every month, the Thursday before our ALC meetings. And so that's a great way for new agents or non-luxury agents to find out what's going on with luxury. But luxury specific events such as the wine tasting, the classes, things like that are specific to only luxury division agents.
Okay. Okay.
So, and that was it.
All right. Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a
Marshall. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Kate.
Jen, do you know yet, have we got any word yet on whether KWRI is having a luxury conference? Do we have a date or anything for that?
We don't, and I really don't think they're going to. It was always like everything's pending what's going on with COVID. And so there's still no definite date, but so I really doubt it. They did have a mastermind a couple of weeks ago that James did attend, and it was a mastermind via Zoom. And James felt that the in-person ones were much, much better. Although the Zoom one, of course, cost a whole lot less. So.
Awesome.
Jim, may I ask a question?
Of course.
This is Pat. What are the other credentials or requirements besides the Luxury International membership that you recommend or would require to be in luxury?
Well, the Luxury International membership, to be a member there, then you do have to have sold at least 2 homes in our luxury market, which we need to relook at the numbers, but it was 585 for the Houston area in the past 12 months. It has to be within the past 12-month period. And then you have to take the luxury home marketing class, formerly known as like the Lori Mormore class. So you have to take that also. So those are the 2 requirements that Luxury International requires. So you do already have to do those to be able to be in that membership, which is a requirement for our office membership.
And
Can I ask one other question?
Well, let's talk about what the benefit is on that. There's other offices that have lower criteria. We'd rather have you take the Lori Moore because we want to have the best luxury agents in the city. So we do have some things that I've had some complaints saying, hey, can't I just take it from Champions? We require that you take it through the Lori Moore, the Institute, just because we want you to have the most education. We want to have the best agents representing our office in the luxury arena. So
Yes.
go ahead.
But also, Michael, I mean, the Lori Mormore class is actually a requirement by Luxury International now. So it's not even up to us. But yes, Pat, go ahead. Next question.
So if I have not sold 2 houses that were 585 in the
Or
last 12 months, but I am a member of the luxury guild, $1 Million Guild, does that count?
That would be up to the Luxury International to make that decision. And you would have to talk to them specifically about it. I would say yes, because that means you've already sold that much. It's just not within the last 12 months. So, but that has to be approved by them. I couldn't make that decision.
Thanks.
Yeah. Talk to them about it.
All right, very good. Thank you, Jen. Okay, commercial.
Yes, my phone rang and I'm getting back into the video side of it. We met and talked about several things. As has been mentioned earlier, the energy corridor is reopened back up. The KW Commercial Energy Corridor Group is getting resettled back at the Energy Corridor office, and that's going well. During COVID-19, we saw several different things taking place and still taking place. Listings have continued. There's been some deals that fall out. Some people are having some shaky issues with financing. Banks are getting somewhat a little hesitant depending upon the client and their capability and their strength to continue to finance. And so that's one of the things that we're going to see a little bit more of unfolding. The biggest areas that we have an issue in right now are retail and hospitality. Part of that is because under the retail side, which includes restaurants, hospitality is a part of that as well. A lot of the mom and pops that are out there don't have the cash reserves potentially to reopen or to strengthen and build their business. So we will see some of that shifting going around. Hospitality, people are still concerned about traveling. Our middle son lives in Maui, Hawaii, unfortunately, and works for Four Seasons Hotel, and they're not scheduled to reopen until August. And that's kind of a tentative date for them. And Maui is a big travel vacation area. So there's some concern there with timing. Also in the flying, everybody's concerned once again about confined aircraft. So that's not getting business travel built back up. It's not getting other people, other things built back up, which all goes to feed retail and hospitality to a large extent. The other thing that we're going to start doing, we've started doing, and that is focus on building the commercial group with seasoned agents. Just prior to the pandemic, we were talking with a group of about 3 guys from the same company. Just as pandemic came up, that was put on hold. And so we're getting that reinstituted, recontacting them. And there's a couple of others that we're going to start visiting with. All of this being done to help all of the agents in the office build their business through the commercial side, in the sense of you hear things, you see things, you have clients that talk about their business. We're here to help you with that. New agents to the market center. That's another thing that we're going to start doing. I'm going to start doing it personally. Calling new agents that sign up with the market center, welcoming them to the market center on behalf of the commercial group as well as the ALC, and just visit with them a little bit about their business, their goals, their direction, and how we as a commercial group can help them meet those goals. And that was about it.
It was a stimulating meeting. I know you had a bunch of people there.
Yes, we did. 2 of my favorite were there, besides myself.
Wow. All right, thank you so much. Preferred partners.
All right, preferred partner meeting. We discussed. I just want to compliment Sarai and the team on putting together some back video. The partners love it overall. Partners are getting more involved, and we discussed how to more calls, and, how the partners get more involved in all the business that is available to them. And thank you for attending and giving some great tips.
Okay, so we do ask that in the future, we know that you're traveling. it's kind of tough for us to hear you, and we know a lot of effort goes into setting up these meetings. So if there's an opportunity for you to pull over, it would be great. Because again, it's just kind of cutting in there, Simeon. I do appreciate it, but just it doesn't prove useful at all. So I know that in the preferred partners meeting, I would like to discuss one piece. This happened afterwards. We had a partner that was not treating one of our employees with respect. In fact, she was continually disrespectful. And so we now have removed that partner. We're just not going to tolerate it. Our staff works very, very hard to keep all the pieces rolling and to make sure that the preferred partners are included. So we have separated from that particular partner. They'll be off our list, or they already are off our list. Your staff is the most important piece of keeping all of the back end together. And so we can never neglect that. Just that's the gist of that. And Simeon will keep you aware of exactly what we did. Again, we got to move on. Just if you're not on a landline, he's on a landline. If you're not on a spot where we can hear you, we just need to move on. So let's move into the International Committee. Catherine Van Zoofen.
Hey, can you hear me?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh. Okay, because I'm at a walkthrough, but we had a good meeting. We were trying to pick up the Lunch and Learn series, and we're working with the preferred partners to get those back on. So the first one is scheduled for July 2nd, which is at the regular first Thursday, 1 to 3 that we used to have, and we're doing seller financing. So please spread the word, because we'll be going over the pros and cons of doing that and how it works and how it affects your closing. And we're working on a marketing class with Naomi that will be in August. And then finally, we're planning our next cultural spotlight. Hopefully things are changed enough that we can actually do that. And we're featuring the UK, because we found a really great location that is UK themed. So we decided to go with the UK theme. And that's pretty much it for international.
So what does that look like? Give us a breakdown of what Brazil, that whole piece that you did a few months back, three months back, and what we can expect with the UK.
So when we did Brazil, we were trying to just have a cool get together that you could use as a client appreciation party. And then we made it a little bit educational by featuring the consul of Brazil. He did a little talk about how to work with people from Brazil, what they're looking for, where they come from, what real estate looks like in their country, and who is moving from Brazil to Houston. So it did have a lot of good information for realtors. And then we tried to just spotlight the culture. So we had Brazilian food. We had it at a Brazilian restaurant. We had Brazilian dance, Brazilian music, Brazilian drinks, just a few of those. And so we wanted to make it a fun event, an educational event, and something that agents can use for their business as well. A lot of people brought clients. So if you want to do a client appreciation party, but you only know 3 or 4 people that you want to bring, this is a great way to have a fun event with, that looks really cool. And all you need to do is buy tickets to the event.
That was well set up. The cost was inexpensive, and we had more than double what we anticipated showing up. Great party.
Yes, and this is going to be fun too. I mean, we are looking at Watson's. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's off of Highway 6 and I-10. They have a really nice outdoor area, which is why we started thinking about that. So, you can keep your distance. It's not in a crowded interior room. And we're planning it for September 24th. So it should be nice and not too hot and comfortable to be outside.
Very good. Thank you. It's a great committee that has really turned into something. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's hear about our tribes and what is that all about?
Okay, so we had another good meeting on Tuesday last week. We had 2 or 3 of our members of our tribe chiefs were away traveling. So we didn't have a full turnout, but we did get commitment from the running tribe. No, sorry, not the running tribe. From the Katie networking tribe. They want to have a Zoom business networking meeting this Thursday. And so if that has not already gone out, it needs to go out soon. So I'll make sure that I get on top of that with Jimmy tomorrow or this afternoon. I wanted each of the tribes, and we've got 7 or 8 of them functioning at some level or another. I wanted every one of the tribe chiefs to host a June event. So I'm doing the games night one, and that's going to be the last Friday in June, and we'll have to do it virtually because I have to be planning it now, and I can't assume that we'll be able to meet in person. So it's going to be a virtual games night on the last Friday in June. We have a wine tribe, and their event is going to hopefully be in person. They feel that they can do the social distancing enough for 10 or 12 people, and they're going to have a wine happy hour, and that's going to be Thursday, June 25th. And then the other couple, Sarai already had her volunteer tribes meeting today with a Zoom meeting, and Jimmy was going to do his Katie networking one this week also as a Zoom networking event. So anyone who's got any interest in any of the tribes needs to be going on to the Keller Williams Memorial Agents page. We have a tribe link there. Jorge and Sarai have been helping with that. And we hope there's going to be a gateway page there for all of the tribes. If you go through that gateway, you'll then be able to go to a Facebook page for whichever tribe you're interested in.
Okay, so we've got the URL. So it's the Keller Williams, it's the agent page. And then from there, they can go into the individual Facebook pages.
It's not 100% complete yet, and I think I'm the cork in the bottle on that one. But we're nearly ready. I think we're one email away from making that all happen.
Kate, you've done such a good job with this. The goal was to have a certain number of tribes, but then COVID came along and you were plugging along, and I think it's gotten stronger since we've come back. Thank you for your dedication to this. I know you're looking for a running part. And I think
anyone of the 45 people who are 42 participants, if any of you enjoy running, then we're looking for someone to step up and be the running tribe chief. And it doesn't mean that you have to meet in person and run as a group. It's just, have that Facebook page, have some kind of forum where you can all talk and share stories and keep each other motivated. Hopefully when this is all over, there would of course be a fun run and some other kind of physical get-togethers, but in the meantime, just working on keeping each other motivated, as we all need in whatever our interest is.
that's such a big, Kate, what you're doing is such a big boost to the culture too. When everyone is lagging around and now they're able to go out and they've gotten used to this dormant lifestyle, and you've put this together. I'm so proud of you. And I think everyone has been a part of this tribe's whole community. Thank you.
Thank you. So anyone who's listening, if you've got any other ideas for what you'd like to be interested in, email me and I'll help you get it started.
All right. And let's have family reunion and mega camp.
I'm here. So, hi. We had a couple of meetings, actually, not just one, and a few of them were very productive. Basically, we're going to structure the whole progress, and through the structure, we're trying to get at least 2 people signing up for family reunion every week. So to get to the goal and having 50 by the time or more by the time a family reunion actually starts. We were successful for the first 2 weeks. We do have 4 people already registered. So that will motivate the sponsors to cooperate. We already have 3 sponsors who committed to help out, and their position will be to provide like direct money. We find a way, we design a way to make the relationship between sponsors and agents stronger through this event of family reunion. And how it works is basically that instead of sponsors just provide the money for the event, they will actually provide money, like a rebate money to the agents who use them every time you have the chance to provide, one of our sponsors have the chance to provide the service to our agents. They well, the ones that agreed, and we have to have, the idea is that they provide $25 toward expenses of family reunion for the agent. That was considered like the best idea to motivate agents to actually go to family reunion and motivate sponsors to actually help agents to go.
Okay, and so do you have the buy-in from the sponsors on that?
Can you repeat that question?
Have the sponsors said, yeah, that's a great idea, I don't mind contributing X dollars every time somebody uses
We
it?
had two sponsors right now that committed to that idea, and we need to discuss that further with them to concrete that if that's will be useful for everybody.
There might be some that have some regulatory components where they're not able to do a rebate, but certainly some can.
We have to design that well with the sponsors, and hopefully with Mary Cruz or something, design a way to make it work. The other thing that we were discussing, that one of the reasons why agents might not be willing to register soon is because they don't want to commit $800 at once. For economical reasons, they might not be ready to do that. So it's kind of a plan for every closing. We need to discuss that with Mary Cruz, but it's an idea to, for every closing, set apart like a prepayment toward family reunion and just deduct some of closing, from each closing, deduct a specific amount. We have to go through the details with Mary Cruz and make sure that it will works. We also were discussing other way to promote interest for participation in family reunion. And so we're going to have Tao interview on, we're going to use the team meetings to promote family reunion, and we're going to interview agents who have been in family reunion, have been successful because of that, and see if that interview can motivate other agents to actually go. Tao already registered for next family reunion, and she will be the next one to be interviewed on the team meeting. Also, we were discussing where to go. Initially, we wanted to reserve some room at the Ballet, the main event hotel. And I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that name. But that's the one. And we were discussing that it might be too crowded, it was kind of expensive, and the inconvenience was that actually in order to reserve the rooms, you need to be registered, so we couldn't do it. So we were considering other options. Bellagio is another hotel that is very nice, according to those who know it, in Las Vegas, and it's a fair distance from the event. And so we are going to book a small bus just for the agents. It's 25. The cost is limited, it's not very expensive. It's about $75 one way for 25 people. And we're gonna see, the goal is to have it paid by sponsorship, to provide that money somehow, to have it covered. And it will be nevertheless less expensive to have traveling and to book at Bellagio instead of booking at the Ballet, whatever.
Okay.
So that was one of the discussion that we had. Another promotion that we have coming soon is a cartoon similar to the one that we had for Red Day. Was very cute. We're gonna have it and we're gonna send it via email to the agents promoting family reunion. Mega Camp is gonna be virtual, and it's not really clear yet what it's going to be. And additional to that, we discussed that actually working together, and since the committee meeting, the committee are basically all related, we are going to unify with forgot the word, with the culture committee. Sorry, my mind. With culture committee, we're gonna meet together so that we can have better assistance and better ideas and kind of work together, making the meeting more productive for everybody.
Okay. Wow, that was a lot. Tanya, we certainly appreciate it. We know it's not easy. All of a sudden, you had all your efforts on Mega Camp, and now they made it virtual because of COVID. Thank you for the time that you've put into that. For those of you that are relatively new to the company, you don't understand Family Reunion Mega Camp, these are events that are held in different cities, and they are the ones that, you know, certainly they make a huge difference in progressing an agent forward. When you watch someone who does $100 million in business, who's been in the business for less than 5 years, or someone who's at 25 million, who's been in the business for just a couple of years, and you get the opportunity to watch them and model that behavior, it gives you the confidence and the competence to take that step forward. And kind of like what we were talking about before, it's all about taking that first step forward. So if you're able to do it and you're able to model someone else's behavior, either within the market center where everyone is willing to share or outside, it certainly makes a difference. And that's why KW agents, if you take a look at the top 500 agents in the country, 116 of them are Keller Williams agents. That's pretty powerful. That whole piece said, I would like to go into the safety side of things. Our safety committee, we don't actually have a piece behind that, but it's so critical that we talk about what happened recently to one of our agents. And now that we put the email out, it's happened to more than one of our agents, where there was somebody who is basically contacting, in this case, one of our agents, and certainly exposing himself. He's got videos where he blocks himself out. He's gotten violent if our agent hangs up on him. We would like to know about it if you're going through something like that as well. We have the Sex Crimes Sex Crimes Division of the Police Department involved in this already. We're the ones who alerted her. That was our agent who's going through this. She was brave for allowing us to lay everything out. We want to make sure you feel safe. And that's a number one thing for us. We want to make sure that you feel safe and good about the job that you're doing. And if anybody has anything on that, we'd be happy to hear it now.
Question. Who do we email if anything of that? To report anything of that?
We email Sophie, and then we'll act on it right away. It's so important.
Hey, Michael?
Yes.
It's James. We've got the safety policy. Do y'all want to start promoting that and send that out and put a link to it on Facebook and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea that we go over that more than once a year so that everybody is on the same page, and we can talk about that after the meeting.
Hey, Michael, a little update too. So calls started resuming again yesterday. So more calls are coming in for her. And then also to our IT department worked directly with the police department and Sex Crimes Division. So they're now in the process of using Google or something to have access to who this person is.
Okay. Well, we're very sensitive to what some of the agents are going through.
Michael, do we have any lead information on why this fella picked this particular agent?
He didn't get enough love from his parents. I mean, we don't have any specifics.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything in particular. The police department said, and we all have to be kind of aware of it. Our police department this part said to her, we always have to make sure we watch what we're putting on our social media or even our profiles, because our profiles are everywhere. So I live here, I have this many kids here, I'm married, whatever. So
But it was more of a, what I'm asking is, was it response to a picture? Was it response to a in-person meeting at an open house? Or, I mean, did they have a clue as to where they might have?
No, we have no idea. It was just
okay, out of the blue.
Just a call that took her by such surprise. His Spanish was perfect, and she speaks Spanish. And then he, as quickly as that happened, he switched over to an English version, and he was just as clear and clean with that. So, so we don't know.
All right. Again, very tough, but we are here to support you with this and anything else. I think this office has been amazing dealing with the whole COVID crisis. And I'm so grateful of the way that they jumped into action. Same thing here. We're here to support you with this, and we're going to get through it. Kind of switching gears here to profit share and recruiting. I think a lot of people are not truly aware of what that looks like, but when we grow the company, this is the stuff that allows us to endure not having business for basically 2 months to 3 months. We were able to put reserves away. And it's because of all the growth that we've had in the past. We are very, very conscientious of how we spend the money, because our goal is to keep 6 months worth of reserves. We're not there yet, but most companies are hand to mouth. In this office, we'd rather hold on to profits and have reserves available so that when we hit lean times, and when you have a pandemic, there's lean times. That could come back in the next 3 or 4 months, right? There could be a spike. And so our focus is to make sure that you have a place to come to work here, even if it's virtually, where there are plenty of other offices that just shut down. 24-Hour Fitness declared bankruptcy today. They're just another one of the companies that couldn't withstand. And that's the nature of the way business is. This company, Keller Williams, has always remained profitable, even during something like that. But it was cutting back in all areas that we possibly could without cutting one service to our agents. And that's important. We didn't step back in any way on the level of service we provided. And we won't. We're going to continue to provide the strongest level of service. That's our focus. When you add somebody to the company, it allows us to continue with that policy. Profit share is a big deal. We will always pay profit share, and you'll continue to get it as long as we are profitable. When you add someone to the company that is a capper, somebody producing over 2.5 million is what we set it at, that following, once we receive money that comes in on that, we have a policy in place, we lower your cap by a quarter cap. We lower your cap by $4,500. Just as a thank you. You still get the profit share, but we lower your cap for that year, or if you're already capped, the following year by $4,500. With 2 cappers, it goes down by $9,000. So we do reinvest in you as well, and we appreciate you helping us grow the company. When you say the company is great that you work at, it certainly has much more oomph than if someone on staff says it, because we're expected to say it. But we have so many of you that have been so gracious and proclaiming how much you enjoy working at Keller Williams Memorial. We want you to continue doing that. We're here to support you. We would love to help you have a 0 cap. Thank you. Thank you for these last several years. This will be my 12th year this year, and every day I love it more and more, and I'm grateful to you. So let's continue to grow it, and let's continue to pay a ton of profit share. On old business, do we have any old business that we need to address? I know that I would like to bring up a couple of things. One, yesterday we had Dick Dillingham do a Zoom. Was anybody on the call in that class? Somebody tell me how was it, Pat?
It was good. He had a lot of thought-provoking information. He's talking about how important it was to ask questions and how questions lead to other questions, and asking questions that require thought and how to recognize that. I was just real interesting. It had a lot of books, some of the same books that Buffini is always touting, the Zig Ziglars and the Maxwell books. You know, it had a good reading list that he put at the end of the session, but it was very inspiring.
Anybody else?
Yes, I listened to him as well, and one of the part that I think was very interesting was when he mentioned about accountability. Learn how to choose your accountability team, and making sure that it's somebody who complements you in some deficiency that you might have as your personality. For example, he mentioned he had the same thing. He's great to come up with great ideas, but he's not as good as executing them. So his accountability partner is very good at keeping him in task and take those ideas to execution. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so he is a guy that you definitely can learn from. Unfortunately, we only had about 60 agents on that call. And so when our staff is letting you know about these, we're going to do a better job of getting it out there, but they did get it out there. And so we'd love for you to attend these things, because these are speakers that charge thousands of dollars. Like when COVID's over, we've paid thousands of dollars to have him come in. Take advantage of this. It's nice and easy. You don't have to travel anywhere. You don't even have to drive up the street like we used to. Take advantage when we get these big speakers in to listen to what they have to say. They have done it before you, and they have done it very successfully, and they're also quick to point out their flaws. Please take advantage when our team says this is an important class and here's specifically why you want to attend it. And if you see that you have a deficit in one of the things they're offering, show up to it. You can leave halfway in, but at least give it the opportunity of attending. Because I was disappointed that we only had 60 plus people on this, when that represents less than 10% of our agent count.
Can I comment something?
Yes.
I got pulled off by a phone call, and I was not able to go back in. I lost the end. So I don't know. That was a technical issue. So maybe somebody else had it too.
Okay. Well, I promise when the team puts it out there, they're not going to make up if a class is, you know, kind of mediocre. They're going to tell you what's great about it, and we'd love to have you attend those. That's all I'm saying. Also, we've got a listing contest. This is going to be a big deal. We're already pulling listings right now. Listings commencing from May 1st through the end of June are included in this. Go get those listings, because someone's going to have an incredible time at the Post Oak Hotel. You're going to have, you know, full spa treatment, $500 worth. You're going to have access to the restaurants, and we're putting up $400 for that. Go get that listing and be the winner on this, because that's going to be a fun time, I promise you. Listings are selling. I mean, I get to see the numbers, I get to see the graphs, and they are just shooting up. If you have a good listing, it's going to sell. If your business has been off, this is your chance to write your business. This is your opportunity right now. Go get listings, do an open house, and go get those buyers. It's not as leverage, but they are coming to open houses. We had an agent who did one from 4 to 6. It's not the prime time on a weekday, who had 10 people show up unrepresented. So go out, do the activity. Please don't wait. Please don't wait. Take advantage of the tools that you have here.
Michael?
Yes, ma'am.
Are lease listings included in that?
They are not.
Okay, just for sale listings.
Just, yeah, ultimately
Okay.
sell listings.
Just checking.
But
Hey,
go list-
Michael.
Yes.
I know somebody that was so interested in winning that contest that they put their own house on the market on Friday and sold it on Saturday.
I heard about that. And they got a hell of a price for it too.
Yeah, $1.2 million.
Yeah, I know. So if you want to go list your own house, damn it, go do it. No, we'd like you to go list something that actually the people want to sell. But I certainly hope somebody gets an opportunity to win that who really wanted it. Anything else, guys? For those of you that haven't been to a meeting like this before, it's kind of cool to see how this all works. Our company grows because we have very smart people that care, servant leaders. These are the same people that answer your phone calls every week. Those are the agents on call. They're the ones that are here, and they're the guiding light of the things that we do here. They represent the culture of our office, and I'm so grateful to our Agent Leadership Council. I'm so grateful to our staff that works so well with them. And we're here to support you and lift you up so that one day you can be on the Agent Leadership Council. Thank you all for being a part of our company. Thank you to our ALC, and thank you to our staff. I'm so grateful that you are a part of Keller Williams Memorial. Take care, you guys.